And he was like, ugh, but can you do it with your shirts off? If I must watch. Guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to The Wheel of Time. We are now on season 3, episode 3, which is called Seeds of Shadow. I have no idea what it's about, but I see a topless Daniel Henney in the thumbnail, so I'm already giving it a thumbs up. I kid, I jest, he's married now. Both in the show and in real life. Anyway, last episode, we are still planting seeds for where everyone's going to go and what's going to happen. Main takeaways is that, unfortunately, my boy Perrin is wanted back home and he's considering turning himself in to the White Cloaks in order to end the tyranny that's kind of come over his town since they showed up. We see that Matt has separated himself from the Horn for now. Elaine was given the option to go home. Well, not really the option, she was kind of being told, but she decided to stay and instead go through the arches and become a accepted as well so that she can help to root out the darkness in the tower. And then what was the last thing here? Yes, Rand has arrived at the Io Wastes finally, and he was met by a welcoming party. Let's hope they were welcoming at the border, which he wasn't quite expecting, but it looks like his stuff is about to kick off in a new land. So lots of interesting things happening, but since Lan is here, I guess we're going to continue to follow Rand, which is a lot of fun for me. So I'm ready to jump in, but just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to be in the know when I drop episodes, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. Why is there a man up in here? I'm assuming this is the tower. I could be wrong. Oh wait, is that that's the stepdad or the dad? Is he a dark friend?
I knew you would.
Oh God, who are you now?
Is that lipstick? A queen in your bed already, Ravin?
Oh no, it's not the same guy. Sorry.
You always were an artist with compulsion.
Okay, so these are other dark friends.
We have more immediate problems than Randall saw.
Randall Fall.
It's so true, her voice gets all soft.
You were so in love with Luz there, and you'd have stretched out at his feet if he'd said, Rug.
Did he lie though? Did he lie? Okay, children, get it together. I thought we were supposed to be working together here.
We're chosen for each other more than the dragon. How did that turn out?
Are we flies to be scared of a little
I think you
spider?
should be. She seems to have her ish together.
But she's smart.
Thank
She
you.
knows she's too weak to challenge any of us head on.
If you're so strong, why isn't our great lord speaking to you?
Good
And
question.
why aren't you nameless?
What does nameless mean?
The proposal is an alliance, then,
Is it?
to take out Moghedien. I'll consider presenting it to the others.
Consider.
Grendel and Samarak. They send their regards, by the way. They were a bit hurt you didn't invite them to this little reunion.
Did she know they were out?
Always prattling on with someone.
Seriously, it sucks that they're the only ones who know how to teleport. That's a skill I really think they should learn. Oh.
She said you were smart, too.
Oh. How did she not sense? Wow, you got played.
Same game she did last time.
You got played, Lanfear. Damn, Lanfear. I hope your senses are up. I hope you know something's up. Because otherwise you are gonna be, I mean, I'm not that mad about you being humbled, but I don't like this. I don't like her, and I already don't like him, so. I'll take the devil I know, thank you, for 1,000 Alex.
Captured at great cost by the Amelin herself. Now, inside their minds are the answers to where the rest of their sisters have gone.
All right, those are the two that tried to kill her.
We have an advantage you don't. I said I cannot lie. We can.
That's true. Oh, Nynaeve's still mad at you.
Whoever tells us the most about the Black Aja lives.
Does she want to live?
We work in groups of 3 called Hearts. Each sister only knows the identity of one other Black Aja outside of her heart.
That does make sense.
Tell us where she is.
I don't know.
I don't believe that. I think you have an inkling.
Is this how you want to be remembered, Amigo? Or do you want to drop the act?
Thank you. Those fake ass tears.
They all believed her. Right up until the end.
She may be lying, but at least she's talking. Which means she values her life.
True.
Leandrin's gone to find Mazrim Taim. The false dragon in Saldea.
No, she does need a wheel. She does. They said another male warder could take the tear.
My life's work was to read people. Situations. Work out the only path through the most difficult negotiations.
Thank you for the explanation of Grey Aja.
I know a killer when I see one.
Good. Don't forget it! Killed a Trolloc! You ain't nothing. Especially without your weaves. What's going on with you, sis? What is going on with you, sis?
Alice!
Is this just a health thing, or is this a weave thing?
How do we work out whether Joy or Amico is telling the truth about where Leandrin went?
That is the question.
Varen and the Amelin are too focused on Joy and Amico, but Leandrin's the key to this.
It's true. The Gray Man! Yeah, I was right. Bagenian is obsessed with Nynaeve, which means that must be a very good reason if she's very smart. Nynaeve must be who she's scaredest of.
He liked her. Didn't he?
Leandrin wasn't terrible when she wasn't being evil.
She was also trying to help me.
She was. And what demonic sigil is this now?
Looks like it was painted in chalk and salt.
I don't like it. Already immediately don't like it. Don't touch it. Probably summons demons or something and portals straight to hell. I don't know.
And what brings you here?
Right?
Elijah's to die.
This is not your house.
Oh, Mother's in her study.
Then I formally request a private audience.
Thank
with
you.
the
Remember your
audience.
manners.
Only a sitter in the Hall of the Tower has the right to request a private audience or a vote. Is that right, Liana?
It is.
They hate you. They hate you so bad.
Cross me now, and I will never forget it.
Do women ever forget? We never forget. Remember your place. Got a little too high on the horse next to a queen, huh? But clearly they hated you from before.
I brought gifts
Bribes.
for the highest of the Red Aisha.
Oh, I do like jewelry.
Oh,
Continue to bribe me.
keep it, Elida.
Ooh.
It's too gaudy for me. Suits you much better.
Oh, she said you gaudy, girl. You're gonna have to do a little better than that.
What are you hoping to buy with these gifts?
Thank you.
What do you want?
Sis's arms. Ooh, give me the routine.
Like we were when I was the highest.
That was a long, long time ago.
Damn, she just called you old.
That we called for a vote in the hall to send a group of 8 sisters to find Rand al'Thor and cage him.
I think that's a bad idea.
We have work to do to regain our standing here. Work you are making more difficult. So,
But this one wants to hear more, though. The seed's been planted.
That you didn't fight for the seats our Red Sisters earned centuries ago with their blood and their lives. That falls squarely on you.
Okay, that's probably the best argument you came in with. I am surprised there were no red in that hall. I'm not sure what that's about, but it does seem like they should be there.
I swear she was in my dream the other night.
No, girl. You were in my dream.
Oh, I had a feeling you did that, Egwene.
More blood has been spilled between clans over water than gold in the Threefold Lands.
So there's multiple clans of the Aiel, is that what I'm understanding? And they fight over water. Okay.
It's forbidden to harm the lost ones.
The only thing with less honor than refusing to defend yourself is killing someone who won't defend themselves.
Amen to that. So those are the caravan people, right? That they traveled with back in season 1?
It could have been done by a spear, made to look like a sword.
No Aiel would do this.
You sure?
The Shadow might.
If the Shadow are near, we need to go.
Another Aiel clan. They have a blood feud with the Ta'adat.
Who are those now? Yeah, Rand's like, this is a lot harder since y'all are infighting. I did not think that was a thing.
I know there's a trial for me there.
You know too much and too little.
It's because y'all speak in riddles in short sentences. Is that her grave? I think it's time. I'm glad he got to do it there and didn't end up in the middle of nowhere.
When each one was laid to rest, it was with an apple blossom seed in their hand.
It's actually beautiful.
What does this tree belong to?
My wife.
It hurts and comforts me to see how her tree has thrived in my absence.
It's grown a lot. How much time has passed?
Mix our loved one's ashes with clay and water and wear them on our face. Like second skin.
Got it.
And will we find a new water now?
Maybe too soon for that question.
What we three had was different.
Seems like it.
But at least you and Maxim have each other.
So you think.
That fractured them, huh? He was the glue.
One of three departs. Who owns that grief?
You both do, your own way. But he was definitely the glue, right? Based on the story we heard in season 1.
Then you can go back to your squiggles.
Unless you lose, then you'll be dead.
Leave Loyal alone. He is a chaste Ogier. Leave me to my books, heathens. I mean, he might be up for the distraction.
Absolutely not.
It's Perrin, the Ibarra boy.
Just announce it. Oh, she's already
So
smitten.
you're the one the White Cloaks are after.
And?
Where did they take the Cothans? Oh, don't worry, they're on.
The White Cloak camp on Wachil.
Thank
You know
you.
these White Cloaks at an Ibarra.
She's in
Because
love.
they say they know you.
It's a long story. Has to do with my puppy. I don't want to talk about it. White Cloaks always with their child slavery. They need to be arrested. See, there's that.
Waste of good steel, if you ask me. You
Oh,
want
his
to know?
sisters got so big.
And murdered your father in cold blood. The land here must be so tainted to raise such poisonous fruit.
Why is he still alive? I noticed the gray got whiter in his hair, though. I hope that was because of Egwene's blade.
Die before I let you touch them.
Yeah, that's what a real parent does. Your dad sucked! It's so nice that hopefully she stayed sober, you know, because back in season 1, she didn't care what happened to those girls. You're okay, Maddie. You're not, though. I understand why he's not staying sober. That's a lot. But right about now, he preferred to listen to Galad getting it on, huh?
Do you have any idea what I gave up to protect you? Isharmel was going to take away my visions. It was right there. The chance to be free of it.
I don't think he could do that.
I'll tell you what, you come back tomorrow, you might want to nab yourself a you're forgiven first.
You know what?
Main. Main.
It's 50-50 because it's true. Like, she did, in the end, do the right thing. But yeah, she did kind of do the bad thing first. It's complicated. They both can forgive each other, you know?
One painted where they died. One where they were born.
Where's it from?
Tanchico. Maybe that's where Leandrin's from.
Okay, I guess we're going to Tanchico.
We wasted our time with Joy and Amiko. They were both lying.
Are you sure that's where she went, though? I guess so. She didn't really get a chance to mourn her son before everything kicked off.
Neither one of them mentioned the objects Naomi stole from the tower.
Exactly.
And I was cataloguing all the stolen items.
I love this detective agency. What shall we call it?
Is that her bracelet?
Yep.
Tanchico.
What about it?
Tanchico is near farm. Leandrin's in Tanchico, looking for the matching collar.
Bloody Gray! Oh, you can see how frustrated Nynaeve is for being helpless.
Dead as it's possible to be. And more.
What do you mean more than dead?
Grey men are dark friends who've given their souls to the shadow
So
in return
zombies.
for their abilities.
Got it.
Why did you come up here, Varen, today?
These are the Brown Aja quarters. I could ask the same of you.
Right, she's like, I technically live here.
Lock your doors and stay in there until I or the Amelin come and find you.
Nynaeve always has the subtlety of a hammer.
Did you not notice what she didn't mention, Elaine? No. She never wondered who stabbed him.
But that could be because she understands what gray people are. I don't want to believe that Varen's a dark friend. It makes no sense, because what? Again, if that hearts thing is true. Ooh, the plot thickens. Oh, you know what? We didn't need to see that.
Today you become husband and wife. You become his.
Why are we getting married right now? This is not the time. Damn, okay, ma'am, is this your scorned lover? What's going on here?
You must be the great-grandson of the man I called husband. Until just before my 13th birthday, he found out there would soon be an addition to our wholesome little family.
Damn.
Don't touch her. She's mine.
I don't think you should talk back to this girl. She just Hadouken. She literally did a Mortal Kombat finishing move, y'all.
Don't hold back.
In great. Whoa. Just right here in public. Okay.
My friend can make all the scary thoughts go away.
Oh, now you're stealing her agency too?
Lose more than just her memories of today.
Right? She's gonna forget who she is.
I think it's best not to remember a thing.
You don't get to decide that for people, Leandrin.
It's a terrible burden, isn't it?
Does she know who you are?
It's just a few dresses.
I meant the future.
She does know you.
It's lonely knowing what's to come.
I mean, people don't really want to be your friend, you know?
Every foretelling I've had is a treasure I hold close.
Why? It's not like you can do anything to change it.
Yes, you see a moment in the future, but what leads up to that moment and what leads out of it? That's where our power lies.
Tell me more.
Didn't just sit back and watch it unfold. I helped Morghese Shakan win her succession war.
How do you know it was the right war?
Bracelet. Is it part of another foretelling?
Of a sort.
I don't blame Min. I mean, this has got to be something that's a bit therapeutic for her.
But this, can it stay just between us?
It's a seer thing? Sure.
Swan Santre will lose, and my Red Sisters will restore the tower to its original mission. Finding and caging the Draken Reborn.
I mean, it's very possible. They already said that some of the sisters were not happy with how unsafe they feel.
Of all the tired white ones, Malene and I are the only dreamwalkers.
And you think I'm one too?
Clearly.
I keep dreaming about this woman who
Tortured me.
hurt me.
Abused me.
If she can hurt you, then this woman in your dream is alive.
To you.
After that, I'll teach you what I can to protect yourself.
Wait, do you mean that there's a possibility someone brought her back from Falm? Or is it just because she's alive to...
I didn't bring you here this time.
Oh?
You brought me.
What do you want with Calendar? What aren't you telling me?
You wouldn't believe me.
Try me. Let's go.
Is a Sa'angreal as strong as Calendar? For women, the Sakanen. Think if a man and woman used them together, they could...
Kill the Dark One. And what would it mean for you?
Indeed.
If the oaths you swore were gone.
I could stalk you wholeheartedly. You should want to do that for yourself, Lanfear. Oh, back to bathing together. It's been a minute. Oh, no, everyone's here. Okay. Oh, it's like a sweat lodge almost.
What is the significance of Ruidian?
Did not teach politeness at your White Tower, child.
Ooh, child. Look at Marie. It's called me child since my mama.
If your Randall Thor is the Karakarn, then he too will go into the fog.
And what happens when he is declared Karakan?
That's a good question. They are so frustratingly cryptic. You can do it. You can do it, Lan.
I think she's looking at you.
I think she's looking at you.
Maybe both of you. She might be greedy.
Do you think an hour with her is what I need to be happy?
Oh,
Probably wouldn't hurt.
I don't know your habits like that, sis.
It's been a long time since I've been with someone else.
Don't forget how it works.
Look at him being a wingman. But Suwon is the only one for her, okay? Man.
Would you care to join me tonight?
Damn, they're bold here. But I mean, that is true. They are bold here. Man, would you? Lan's like, I'm sorry, I'm married, but for her, technically on a break. What's on her back? Swan and a moon?
The Chuma sept of the Tada Rail.
I do not have tattoo. Why do you have the golden crane of Magia on your back?
But I would break my spears today and follow you to the Blight and take back our...
What city? It's rubble and root.
Magia is gone.
As long as one man wears their dory, as long as one woman wears the Kasain, Magia lives.
He's married.
Do you still fight his war?
I have not forgotten.
I don't like this. She's getting a little too close to a married man for my liking.
If I turn myself in, then the White Cloaks will return the Cortons.
You sure?
You're no dark friend.
Well, here's something.
So are you, Sembu, and if you don't shut your mouth...
Right? You're about to be not here. That's what's going to happen.
You'll stay right here. The Two Rivers defends its own. Always has. Always will.
Loyal's like, yeah! Except for this one, I don't trust him. That one's going to be the snake. Trust that old man. He going to give you up.
What are you doing up here?
Hiding. Those Aiel women want to touch me.
You feel nothing. Ivon.
I'm just trying to protect myself because I'm drowning in your grief. And now we have to deal with it.
If we were dealing with it, we would be hunting down Leandrin and making her pay.
And what good is that going to do right now?
Instead, we're here in the bloody Two Rivers. Why, Alana?
That's what I'd like to know. No answer. Okay. They're like, we love you, but if you could just close your eyes, Perrin, you're creeping us out, mate.
Don't even know your name.
I call myself Mandal.
Call myself?
It means blade in the old tongue. So choose your words carefully.
Oh?
That's what he calls his horse.
Perhaps you should try again to turn yourself in.
Ma'am, he's rusty, okay? He got married when he was just a young man himself. Just buried his ring. Give him some time. The sauce will return.
I'm going to get Natty and the girls. I promised Matt I'd look after his family, and I intend to.
Call the wolves! Who let the dogs out?
It's just I have had my own kind of trouble lately.
I know. The memories.
How do you know?
Hi, see her.
You told every bloody novice in the tower and half the Aes Sedai.
Oh, that too. Oh, no. God damn. Why is it always death with men? Why can it never be anything happy like birth and marriage?
I'm sorry, miss. Is this man bothering you?
I can handle myself, thanks.
Yeah, get off.
You're excellent, aren't you? Sturdy, very protective, very selfless of you. Thank the lights we have you here with us.
Yeah, I don't like him. Sorry, Elaine, I like you, but your brothers are both twats.
I didn't think you knew your way to the Red Quarters.
I followed the rats.
So what do we owe in the...
Damn.
When does Mother want us to leave?
Tonight. Come now. She waits for you in her study to discuss the plan.
Condescension was not the right move there.
Sadea's on the other side of the world. Unless we can afford to lose a city for months and be worth only 2 votes in the hall.
Ever the politician, hey? You know how she got beside the queen's
It appears the
right
Red
side,
Aisha
huh?
is in need of a new sitter.
How advantageous, hey? I really hope that they see what she's doing, but they probably don't care.
I mean to make it into a bar for the door at night. And the boys will take turns keeping watch on the roof.
Not the boys.
Trollocs see like cats in the dark. They'll be on top of you, kicking in the door before anyone can raise a shout.
Stop trying to frighten folks.
Trollocs frighten me.
They do.
Then what do we do?
That's the question.
If there's 10 here or 20 there, then you're just game for Trolloc taking, or for White Cloaks.
Yep. Better stick together in this case.
If we stay here, all of us, we have a chance.
Wolves do better in packs. And look at that. Remember my man said that he was, not a leader? Interesting. Feels like leadery things happening right now here, Mr. Perrin. Maybe a leader of the pack, if you will. idea, Maddie. You should learn to fight. It's a good way to keep your mind occupied, and also, you know, you're gonna have to fight. Unfortunately. Oh, God, not these pricks. Just leave.
Although with form like that, I'd wager the trees.
The trees would win.
Nynaeve, what are you talking about?
Eileen and I found something. We think we know where Leandrin's gone.
Leandrin?
Oh.
You are not going off to look for her without me. I mean, what am I supposed to do here? The Aes Sedai haven't got a bloody clue how to help.
True. He's just kind of wandering around getting drunk and trying to get with the ladies. It's not working well.
I think the lady said she wanted to leave.
Oh my God.
He said step back.
Maybe you should teach them a lesson.
Matt.
You're not
No,
going
let
to
him.
take two of us with a stick.
2 marks. Says I could.
Ooh.
This is ridiculous.
It is, but these guys are kind of asking for it.
Done then.
Nynaeve's like, ugh, but can you do it with your shirts off? If I must watch.
Avia Andy Setovius again.
Huh? Remember, the rest of us don't understand. Okay. But I'm glad he's channeling someone. This is where it gets helpful. Let them know, Maddie. Let them know. Period. What was that about a bow staff? Louder. Look at her. She's like, I'm so proud of my little man. I should let you know I've got a few centuries of knowledge in my blood. You might want to give up. And this is good because it just hurts them, you know. It's not going to kill them. Just their pride, mostly. Oh, night-night. Please hit his face. Just once. Or the balls. Actually, that helps. You might get some sleep at night. I'm so impressed.
2 marks.
Each.
Each.
Period. You can get me the tab next time. Look at her. She's like, who is this man? Look, he's sober and he's clear. Let's take it.
Who are they to you, these cousins?
Family.
Friends.
Pretty much.
Family. In a way.
Period.
Nobody's getting hurt. I'll make sure of it.
Is that a plan or a hope?
Well, both.
You'll need both if you want to lead.
I don't.
He does not want to lead, but he is.
Wait.
Oh, she's so happy he called.
What's your real name?
Your wife. Mrs. If you must know.
Bayou.
Ooh.
It means falcon.
Pretty.
Hunting's in my blood.
That's good, because he's a hunter too. It's okay, parent. It's okay to like her. It's time.
I didn't even tell my brothers we were leaving because we agreed not to tell anyone.
I mean, it's Maddie.
Sanchico's pretty rough. It's a good thing I'm coming.
Actually, no. Let me take that back. He actually has skills.
Now, Nynaeve, you know Tanchico's halfway.
You're right. It's a long trip.
Who the hell is this now? Oh, Min. I guess she's scared of what she saw. But what's her name said is the case, right? Like, maybe she can do something about
We walked every step together.
the before and the after. This new hair is interesting.
It's not created to control a woman. It's used to control a man. A male Adar. And somewhere in this city is the matching collar. We're going to collar the Dragon Reborn himself.
You can try. Is that not Muggy? That's Madigian. I guess they wouldn't know what she looks like. Damn, they weren't kidding about Madigian being very smart. Mogideon. I have to say her name right. I'm gonna get her name right one of these days, guys. Be patient with me. But yeah, they weren't wrong. She is smart and she is slippery. She may not be powerful, but yeah, in pretty much any war, information is the most powerful tool you will have. And she right now probably has more pieces of the puzzle than anyone else. Okay, guys. Well, that was episode 3. That was a lot. Once again, they're packing a lot into these episodes. And I'm very grateful that they are definitely trying to like give us almost a full 55 minutes per episode. So we're getting as much as we can because 8 episodes is really not enough, guys. It really isn't. But anyway, Seeds of Shadow indeed. So a few things went down here. So much. Let me see if I can reel my mind back. So first things first, Leandrin is worried. Not Leandrin, I'm sorry. Lanfear. Lanfear is scared, and Lanfear being scared makes me scared. She has put herself at the highest in power out of who's left of these Forsaken, and yet she's scared. That's a problem. That's a problem for everyone. But what I do like is that she respects that Mogideon is, even though she may not be weave, or that's what I'm thinking, right? It's her, I guess her weaves or the one power is not the strongest in her, but she's meticulous, she's smart, she's sneaky, and as I just said, she knows where to be and what to follow. Like she follows the information, and that makes her dangerous. And it's like that expression says, right? It's not the person who's strongest who necessarily always wins. It's the person who survives. And I get the sense that Mogideon is a survivor. She knows what to do to survive. We saw that Lanfear called her a coward. I would say she's cautious. I wouldn't call her a coward. I would say she's more cautious. She knows not to pick a battle she can't win, so she finds different ways to win, and that is just as effective, honestly. Sometimes it's the smarter who make it through and not necessarily the strongest. So anyway, we see that Lanfear tried to strike a deal with at least two of the Forsaken. I forgot their names already. I'm sorry, it'll come to me. But both men, interesting, because up until now, we've only seen, the only other man we saw was, oh gosh, his name just slipped out of my head, from last season anyways, Ishmael. But I knew there were more. I didn't realize there was that many. But anyhow, she's trying to get them to agree to gang up on Mogideon because it's like, she'll be a problem. We should work together for the same thing because we don't know what she's up to. But we see that one of them has already been compromised, that they're working with Mogideon, whether it's because they have their own side quest or because they want to take down Lanfear. I don't know. But my guess is it's a bit, obviously they were fractured as a group, right? Even though they're the Forsaken, there's been infighting. We heard this last season from Moiraine that they've never gotten along, but the Dark One is kind of what kept them, you know, in line to some degree. But now obviously the Dark One is not yet a full factor. And it looks like Ishmael kind of probably ticked everybody else off. Like I'm thinking the reason why the guy who's siding with Mogideon is doing it is because they're pissed that Ishmael was out for how long and he didn't release them, right? Mogideon did that. He only released Lanfear, and only because he thought that Lanfear was a necessary backup, right? Last season we kind of got the picture, right? It was Lanfear, Ishmael, and Luz that were kind of a what would you call them, a throuple? Effectively. But anyways, they were tight. And really, I think Ishmael really wanted to have something with the three of them, and he would have been more than happy to leave the rest of the Forsaken all locked up forever. But clearly that didn't work out. And when that didn't work out, now obviously some of them are salty. And, you know, the one who had like the Irish accent, I mean, I don't know where he is. He clearly doesn't like anyone. But the point is, two of them are already working together, which is more than Lanfear has. She has no allies now that Ishi's gone. So she's understandably scared, literally shaken. And we actually see this when she dream walks to Rand, and she says Rand brings them back there, which I actually believe he did, because again, I don't think Rand is quite aware of when it's Luz versus him quite yet. But anyway, basically he notices immediately that there's no quips, no playing around, no flirting, no attempts to get him to fall back into old habits. It's literally just her sitting in a very, you know, her body language is giving scared. It's giving protective. And we hear her say that she'd be willing to take out the Dark One because she wants to be free of her dark oaths. Right? So again, I think in her mind, she's thinking that, okay, maybe Rand/Luz will accept me if I'm not sworn to the Dark One anymore, because that's the reason he doesn't want me, right? Which maybe that was the case. We don't have a lot of information of what it was like between Luz and Lanfear, and again, so far it's given that Lanfear is a bit obsessed, and I don't know how much of that is true and how much of that is just because it's being presented to us this way, right? My point is, typically people don't just get one-sidedly obsessed. Right? It does happen, don't get me wrong, but I'm getting the sense that her and Luz did actually love each other, and we've learned that Luz was much more of a lover than anything else. So I think he definitely gave her energy, and then when she wanted to make it, hey, you and me against the world, is when he was like, whoa, I'm not a one-woman man, okay? That's not me. I love everybody. I want to be able to love everybody. And so that's kind of where things got a little off kilter. But digressing, I believe that she thinks the reason why Luz keeps rejecting her and Rand is because of the dark oaths, but that is part of it. And I think that back in the previous life, Luz probably told her that was the reason. But either way, we see that she's basically like, okay, if I'm willing to do this, if I'm willing to throw away these dark oaths, does that mean you and me could have a future, right? I'm doing all this for you. And, you know, Rand kind of is like, you know, I don't think it's just Rand. I think Luz too is like, yeah, so you're kind of crazy, like respectfully, you're cute or whatever. And I wouldn't mind having you a little side thing, but you know, you're kind of looking for like obsession level togetherness. And that's really not on my plate. So anyway, she disappears, but she's scared, right? She didn't really let Rand know. And I think she should have that things are pretty out of control. And like she said, I mean, she did give him one little clue, which is like, I don't think there's a way out of this time. Like, you know, she doesn't have Ishi, she doesn't have anyone behind her. And I think she already picked up on the fact that even the two that she contacted are not giving her the kind of energy she wants. So anyways, as I said, when Lanfear, the strongest out of who's out here, is scared, it's a time to be worried. So anyway, we saw that happen. And again, we see that Gideon's definitely got her own plans in place. And I think it's interesting that she chose to follow Leandrin, but I don't think that's a bad thing, because I think she sees out of everyone, Leandrin's probably going to lead her to more of the people she needs to get to. And I think she also figured out that she's looking for Nynaeve, and I think she figured the best way to get to Nynaeve is through Leandrin, because Nynaeve has a reason to get to Leandrin. But speaking of Nynaeve and Leandrin and their connection, I didn't talk about this enough last episode, but when Nynaeve and Elaine were assigned to root out all the Dark Aja and potentially, you know, get to Leandrin, Suan said a very interesting thing, a very real thing about how Leandrin had the opportunity to take Nynaeve out, not once, but a couple of times. She could have not let her go when she delivered them to the Shanchan, and she also could have taken her out in the hall, but she didn't. And there's definitely a connection there. And we've seen this since season 2, actually season 1, because Leandrin was looking out or seeking out Nynaeve even since then. But anyway, Suan said, look, there's something there. I think it would be in your best interest to figure out what that is and exploit it. And I agree. Like, I think we don't know exactly what it is. If it's just a matter of that they like each other, if Leandrin sees something in her, we don't know. But either way, Leandrin is very loath to hurt her. So this is something that is definitely going to be potentially to Nynaeve's benefit if she can exploit it or figure out how to exploit it. Also, I do think if there is any tiny shred of a chance of getting Leandrin to turn on the Dark One or to turn away from this path, it might be Nynaeve is being the one to do that. Like, Nynaeve might be the one to actually find that kernel of good that's still there and potentially, you know, ignite it enough to make her do something. But we don't know. She might be beyond hope at this point. And honestly, I'm not mad if Leandrin dies, just because she's done a lot of things, okay, that I don't like. First, she killed off Ivor. Ivor, is that his name? Yeah. And then, you know, now all the stuff she did in the hall. I mean, those people probably deserved it, to be fair, from what she described. But, you know, taking that girl's memories away, like, nah, ma'am, she's a little out of control right now. But I digress. So yeah, I'm thinking that's one of the reasons why Gideon is following Leandrin at the moment. She is definitely more on a logical trail where the whole thing with Rand is concerned than I think anybody else is. So yeah, she's gathering good info at the moment. And hilarious that none of these Aja have any idea that a Forsaken is literally just walking amongst them like this. It's crazy. But anyways, yeah, Leandrin is holed up now back in Ticino, which is her home. But also it looks like I don't know. I'm still trying to understand what the whole symbol on the floor thing is. I'm thinking it has something to do with her son, but anyways, I guess we'll see more of that. It'll unfold naturally. But yeah, outside of that, we might as well just follow the detective agency. My two girls running detective agency right there in the tower. And we see that they interrogated the two Dark Aja. I think that was a bit of, you know, last episode mostly, but still from that interrogation, they discovered that they need to follow the artifacts more than they need to follow what's going on as far as the Black Aja, because they're like, we need to figure out, since Leandrin seems to be the point of contact for all the other Black Aja, we need to get to her and figure that out. And that's when they realized that, you know, in following Leandrin, they needed to go to Ticino. I mean, kudos to Nynaeve for figuring that part out. She's got a real brain for this sleuthing. I love it. And that's what they planned to do. And they were going to go alone, but of course they had to let old Maddie know. And Maddie was like, now I'm coming with you, because it's true. Maddie's really not doing anything at the tower other than causing problems. So better for him to put that into a better place. So that's happening. And I don't know why I have a sneaking suspicion her brothers are going to end up there too, but maybe I'm wrong about that. What else happened? Min having a very good conversation with the Red Aja. What's her name? Why can't I remember? I always think of her real name, story. But anyways, the Queen Spy. We find out that she's a seer as well. Apparently she's not as strong as Min, but I think I remember from season 1 people saying that Min is like the strongest seer that they know of. And anyway, I just kind of thought that was a good moment that she and gosh, I'm gonna have to look up her name later. I'm glad that they had a moment to talk anyways, because what she said about being a seer, being lonely was so true. Poor Min has explained in season 1 and 2 how her visions have isolated her and how they've obviously not made her a fun person to be around, but also just the fact that she doesn't want to see all these things. So she kind of isolates herself so she doesn't have those visions. And what's super sad is that hers are always sad, right? Almost all of her visions are about death, and that's not a fun thing to have a window into, right? At least for the other of the Queen Spy, at least she's able to see good things. But what I liked the most out of that conversation was that Min's kind of been looking at this as being a victim of the wheel, but the Queen Spy was like, no, like you can, even though you can't necessarily change the outcome, you can definitely arrange certain things around it to be a benefit to you or somebody else. And that's how she helped the queen get to power, for example. And so I think that's great because Min has been feeling like a victim of her powers, and that's why she turned to the Dark Ones in the first place. But now that she knows that this is possible, I think that she's taking that to heart. And that's one of the reasons why she's following Matt, is I'm thinking that, okay, Matt ends up being hanged, but that does that mean that he's gonna die, right? Because with her last vision, she saw Rand being stabbed, but it wasn't Rand's death, right? So again, we gotta hope that just because we're seeing what happened to Matt, that doesn't mean it's the end. Maybe she can do something to make sure it isn't his end, right? He ends up in that noose, but maybe if she arranges things, someone's there to cut that noose before it takes him out, praying he doesn't break his neck first. But anyway, you get the point. So I like that. That was a very needed conversation for Min, and hopefully helping her to get a little bit more agency over herself and her role in all of this. So that was cool. Her and Matt have effectively made up, which is good because yes, she did owe Matt an apology, but Matt also has to recognize that she did sacrifice a lot to make sure she did the right thing, even if it was clutch. Of all people, Matt should understand someone coming in and doing the right thing at the last minute because that's kind of his thing too. So anyways, they are two sides of the same coin, and I'm glad they kind of made up before Sir Jerk-a-Lot showed up and felt the need to put his false, what do you even call it? He's saying that he's chivalrous, but it's not. It's all about, I just want another girl to show up in my bed tonight. Like, I see through you, sir. You don't give a damn about men. You don't give a damn about Nynaeve. It's all about trying to whip your you-know-what out and try to measure it with Matt. And that's why I was so happy about that little scene that they had where Matt's like, listen, I shouldn't be abusing this whole horn thing that I've gotten, but y'all been getting on my damn nerves, because it's true. Matt's walked away like twice when these guys have done too much. Well, Galad in particular. So I'm glad that he was like, let me just limber up and let you guys know I've allowed you to walk away. Yeah, I've allowed that. Don't piss me off, okay? And I'm glad that he actually used the staff too, because they are still technically princes, and this whole Andor fighting with the tower thing, we don't need more of that. So yeah. So anyway, that was kind of cool, and now those two are on the same page, and Min is going with them, so I think that's good. What else happened? Was that all for the tower business? Outside of course, the Queen Spy sowing the seeds with the red, we see that her hand was shaking bad at the beginning of the episode. We have no idea what that's about. I would love to know if it's like I said, is it a weave magic thing, or is it her? Do her visions take a toll? Is it because of a vision that she's seen? I don't know, but I'm sure they showed us that scene for a reason, and whatever it is, she's upset about it. So anyway, we'll have to figure out more about that. But she's sowing seeds in the Red Tower anyway. She wants them to get a seat. I didn't realize that the Reds had no seat whatsoever in the hall. I don't know why that stopped, but it sounds like they should be there, but I guess it's because we find out that they actually want to just call her the Dragon Reborn, cage him. They have no desire to do anything else, and maybe that's why there was a fracture between the seat and the people who were sitting and the Red. I don't know, but either way, she's planted the seeds for the Reds to try to get back into the hall, and I think she's already potentially foreseen that they make their way in. So yeah, she did, because she told Min that. She's like, Suan's gonna lose and things are gonna change around here. So I think that's the other reason potentially Min wanted to get the hell out of there, and it's probably a good thing again that Nynaeve and Elaine left too, because we heard Nynaeve say, I don't trust anybody here, including Varen. And yeah, she brought out a very interesting point about how Varen didn't ask about why the Gray Man was stabbed or who stabbed him. So I don't think Varen's working with the Black, but Varen is also known to keep a lot of secrets, and she's very cryptic. So weaves within weaves within weaves, patterns within patterns. I'm starting to see all the different layers here that are at play. So in the tower politics, that is. So anyway, that was pretty much that with the tower, I think. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it for tower business. We'll move to Perrin now. Yeah, we'll move to Perrin and then so with Perrin, we see that he wants to turn himself in because he thinks it's the way to end everything. Like he's like, what they're accusing me of, it's real. And we got a little snippet of what's going on. We see that Matt's mom and his sisters were captured, but they're only being captured thus far. They're not being harmed because the son of the guy who died, does not want to hurt them, right? We saw from season 2, he's not really a bad guy. Like he's a gold cloak because it's a family thing, not necessarily because, or white cloak, I should say, sorry. I'm thinking of white and gold on their uniforms. But we know that he's a white cloak by blood more so than by belief. And thankfully, he's like, we don't want to hurt these people. They don't all deserve to suffer. Like I want one man, and that's the man who killed my dad. So I'm just doing this. I'm resorting to this because we need him to come to us. And freaking Valda is still there. And he's like, I just need to hurt something. Oh, I'm crazy, right? He's just he's salivating to do some effery. And thankfully, for now, he's being kept at bay. And he's saying, look, if we can't find Perrin by, what do you say, like next Trolloc attack or whatever, then I'll let you do what you need to do. So anyways, we know the point is there's a countdown. We need to get those girls back. Otherwise, Valda will do the worst because he's a crazy man. And we see that Perrin lets everybody know the plan. But thankfully, I see where Egwene gets her unbreakableness from. Yeah, Egwene's mom said, we're not doing all that. Listen, we don't give up our own. We've always been our own little gang here. We got each other's backs. You going over there is going to do nothing. They're just going to hurt you, and we're not going to be okay with that. Like, we know you're not a dark friend. So anyways, like I said, I don't trust that old man though, because that old man's like, well, he's something. Like, shut up. He's got different eyes. Is that a big trouble? Is that a problem? You got something against gold eyes now, huh? Gold eye bigotry, is that what's going on here? But anyways, keep your eyes on him. I think he's definitely going to say something. But either way, they decide they're going to keep him there, but obviously it's still a problem. And thankfully, he later on ends up having to rally everybody because they're all like prepared to go back to their homes, which we know the Two Rivers is a bit dispersed. And he thankfully was like, no, that's not going to work. Like, if we're all dispersed, that leaves us open. People are going to get hurt. We don't want that. So we got to stay together because at least then we can protect each other and we have enough to alarm people. Like, if we're all together and we're all watching each other's backs, then there should be no blind sides. And like I said, it's a leadery thing to do, despite the fact that 2 episodes ago, he told Rand, I'm not a leader. That's you. I couldn't do it. Looks like you're leading. Like you're a leader of a pack, maybe an alpha. I don't know. But anyways, it was nice to see that he kind of has now found kind of a purpose, at least for the time being, of protecting his people and protecting obviously his family, extended and otherwise. And we see that he also visited his wife's grave, thankfully put some closure to that whole situation. He needed to do that. Had a great conversation with Alana. We got a little insight into Alana's mind. She's clearly, I love that they're showing the difference between her and her warder and how they're handling their grief very differently, and that's very real, right? She's, unfortunately, like she said, this is not her first rodeo with losing a warder, although it sounds like she's never been, maybe she wasn't intimately involved with her past warders, but obviously this is a very unique situation because of that interconnectivity between all 3 of them. So anyways, the point is she is compartmentalizing her grief, and of course I forgot with the bond, they're feeling each other's grief too, which is probably amplifying it, so it's all the more. And her and Perrin having that discussion about their different grieving practices, and both beautiful in their own way and also quite sad in a way too. But just the fact that we now know that Alana is doing her best right now, and that she does want to get revenge, but that's not necessarily the best way, the best thing for her to do right now. But also, like, they're not in the right headspace. Like Maxim, the way he was talking, he would be wild out there. Like, it's best they get themselves together before they even think of going after Leandrin. And besides, going after her for revenge right now is not what the greater purpose of this war needs right now. So anyway, probably best that they're out here helping with the Trollocs and, just healing up emotionally as well as physically. So anyway, that's pretty much what happened there at the Two Rivers for now. Oh, of course, the introduction of Fael, yes, or Madar. I can't remember what her other name is, but I know a lot of people have been saying in my comments that they're looking forward to her. Apparently, she is a very cool person in the book. I like her so far, the way she's kind of just letting Perrin know, I see you, and now you see me seeing you. So I like it. She's given Perrin the nudge he needs, because he's not the first move kind of guy, but at the same time, she's kind of letting him, do a little of the work as well. But I think he needs that, right? Perrin to me is someone who needs someone to love, and there's nothing wrong with that. And if he's got someone who's strong and clearly does not give a damn about the golden eye thing, that's all the better, right? Someone who's there and someone who's a hunter and someone who's into that whole lifestyle. I feel like she's going to adapt very well, is my point, to who Perrin is and what he's about to become. So I'm all for it. My boy deserves some love, and God knows he needs to get over Egwene too. So yeah, that was pretty much what happened at the Two Rivers. And then finally we had Rand and the Aiel, and it was very, very like early. We didn't get to see too much, but we see that they know who he is. They're ready to put him through his trial, and they're making their way through. We discover that my girl Egwene might be a dream walker, because I said, like, when she saw that girl in her dream, I'm like, I don't know that the Aiel can do that. Apparently they can. We found out they can, but in this case, it was actually Egwene who did it. So this is very interesting, because if she can walk dreams, this is good that she discovered she might be able to do this, because that means she might be able to fight back against, Lanfear, in case Lanfear decides to get disrespectful again, which I have a feeling she will when she gets over being freaked out. But anyway, also, thankfully, this elder in the Aiel was able to talk to her about what's happening, these dreams she keeps having about Tara, what was her name? These dreams she keeps having about the girl who tortured her. And she said that if these bruises keep showing up on her in real life after these dreams, then that means whoever she thought she killed is still alive. Either way, it looks like she might be getting a little bit of spiritual guidance here, which would be a good thing for her and another good reason for her to be on this quest along with Rand. And we found out also that while they were getting ready for this trial, which was very reminiscent of a sweat lodge that you see happen with a lot of indigenous folks, that Lan sees somebody who has the emblem, I guess, of his kingdom tatted on her back. And she says that she knows who Lan is, recognizes him as king, and said, hey, we should go back and restore our kingdom. And of course, Lan's like, what kingdom? What are you talking about? Huh? Like, the kingdom's gone, been gone. But she's like, nope, it still is as long as the both of us are still alive. And if there's two of us, then there probably is actually, let's be real, there probably are more of his people out there. But either way, it looks like she's putting a bit of a choice in front of Lan. Like, is this really what you should be doing? Or should you be, putting your priorities to your royal duties as the last living king? And so I'm sure it's something that he's thought about off and on, but obviously, like, he probably thought again that maybe he was the only survivor. But it's an interesting question, and definitely one we saw that Elaine dealing with last episode, as far as like, where do your loyalties lie, to like a higher purpose or to your crown? And it's interesting, but it's telling me that potentially maybe if Lan survives all of this, he might find his way back to Malkir or try to rebuild Malkir. It's hard to say, but interesting that they throw this in now of all times when he's away from his wife. But anyways, I hope that one's not insinuating that they have to continue, the line with her, because that's not happening. You hear me? But anyway, so yeah, some interesting things that happen there. Also dropping the idea that maybe Moiraine could potentially jump in and, have a little fun with somebody while her and Suan are broken up. But we all know that that's not the kind of girl she is, right? Neither her or Suan are gonna go anywhere but back to each other. They need to break up immediately. But yeah, I think that was pretty much it really for the Aiel stuff. Like, they're kicking off some stuff to happen pretty soon. But that was also we learned that there's clan wars on the Aiel, which means that Rand's got more than just the job of proving that he's the Karkaran, but also uniting these clans that are clearly not that friendly with each other. So yeah, even more heaping on that plate of responsibility that is already too high for our little redheaded boy. So yeah, another good episode. I think I probably did miss a few things, but those are the main things that stood out to me. Loving how it's going. Like, I really wish we had another episode to watch like right now, but you know what? They've given me enough to chew on already. Loving it so far. My favorite season so far, I gotta say. I'm loving how things are going. I keep wanting to just eat it up what's coming next. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I will see you in the next one.